religion. Look at Somalia. They have one language, one religion, they are one people, but for the first 30 years, they've been going hammer and tongs at one another, the 5 clans of them. Finally, I want to thank you. What was your name again? Higa Anthony. Are you the one who mentioned the Polisario front? Or it was, who was it? It was you. Yeah, I'd like to thank you for mentioning the Polisario front and solidarity with the people of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic. They are still fighting for their independence. So thank you for prefacing your presentation with something on African solidarity. We are from the Pan-African movement, so it always touches us when somebody reminds us that we still have an African people fighting for independence. And closely linked to that, talking about independence and territorial integrity. Yesterday, the 2nd of March, was the anniversary of the Battle of Adwa, the first time an Italian army was defeated by Ethiopians. So thank you very much for bringing the solidarity point. That is all I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Judge Joseph, you needed to say something?
But there's something she forgot. She told me something here which is very key, that it seems we are not badly off. She comes, that we may, the future is assured, so you should clap for her. She told me that after interacting with you since morning, she's comfortable. You can see she's an elder, that not all is lost. We may storm out. So it's up to you.
Judge Joseph, we will be waiting for you.
Thanks so much, guys. We are coming to a conclusion. I am actually very, very delighted to be here. Sarah will always say this, and my colleagues during break and in the course of all interactions, we keep on saying that we wish we could have a lot more of this. And we keep on wishing everybody else we're doing what CCG is doing. And we actually keep on saying we wish everybody, every national and international broadcaster, we're doing what Civic Space TV we're doing. But the fact that we have solidarity from and with Mildred and indeed with Peter Machalia shows that actually you guys, we are not alone. So as we come to this concluding session, these are our remarks, not Sarah's remarks. Take very seriously what everybody has said here, particularly the judges, but also take very seriously what some of your colleagues have actually talked about. In fact, I picked the question of Polisario solidarity with much interest, and initially I said, it possibly is inconsistent with the topic, but it's absolutely in time and in tune with what we're saying from the beginning. That the debates that we used to engage in as early as our primary school, you guys, you can now tell how old I am. I was in primary school in 1976, and that was during the Sharpeville massacre. And that was the beginning of my interest in global issues. I was extremely young, but I remember sort of battling around radios and how these things were happening. And all I can remember is that it was like dark cloud, you know. So these are the motive things. So it's very serious stuff, we Africans. You know, guys, you cannot participate in a national debate, even if it's a national primary school debate, without contextualizing the global. And at university level, you must definitely be able to Pan-Africanize the conversation. You must absolutely globalize the conversation. So, as our colleagues were saying, Machale, read, and read. And so therefore, my earliest remarks was this. Read, read, and read, because we are still very concerned about the quality, general quality of debates. For instance, I took something like from one of the very good debaters. He talked about begged date. Now, we are discussing National Development Program. So if you don't know how to talk about date, and you say beg date, when basically what you meant in economic terms is to borrow, it's something very minor, but like I said earlier, it's our job to bring that out to you. But anyway, something as basic as that. But quick ones then to conclude. In future, a big topic like this, we would expect you to begin to formally introduce the conversation. And it does not have to be in 2 minutes. Number two, definition of terms. What are the key words? National development, innovation, whatever the case. You have to deal with it. You have to deal with it as you introduce and bring people onto you. Number three, I think Dale's referred to it. We expected out of this talk key figures, national development, key facts, statistics, some element of reference to independent research and figures. Number four, Japan was mentioned by Titus. You focused very interestingly. You were the one who mentioned carbon emissions. Now, again, the youth around the world are the ones actually pushing environmental issues. We can't hang around Uganda and keep on chasing our rural, is it, what do you call it? This is the new development thing of the village parish model stuff, picking up money. And you come from universities, go home, enable those guys, and you don't talk about the environment. And you're saying we're talking 2040, 2060. You are letting down the nation. You're letting down yourselves. So it's important. So I find that very interesting that we rarely talk about the environment, including when we talk about oil in Hoima. None of us seem to say, well, these are environmental impact issues. In Edinda, in Jinja, this is actually what is happening. They're throwing down. Emmanuel, we don't address, we debate, as I said earlier. Basic things, but good stuff. I am surprised, in conclusion, that in the course of all this conversation, I think one person, I think from the audience, came up with a question of land tenure system, land reforms, as part of this. I'm actually surprised, because land is one of the biggest questions, one of the biggest issues now on debate. Again, at your levels, you should be the ones helping to lead these conversations. Now, why we're giving you these things is beyond whatever we do today. We expect you to go back and run with these things in your families, in your communities, in your institutions, guiding the process. But anyway, that is seemingly the end for me, except that I have to do the hard job, which is to release the results. As I said, you guys have all done a fantastic job. I'll not talk about you guys individually, but just to say that, look, we have the third runner-up, we have second, first, and we have a winner for these purposes only. And so the third runner-up today, and in this session, is Anthony Iga. Well done. The second runner-up is Emmanuel Achur. The first runner-up in a rather close contest has been Brian Aruhu. And a rather close winner today we have in Titus Gabirano. Congratulations. Well done, guys. Well done, well done, well done.
All right. A round of applause to our judges and to our panelists. Okay, we want to have a photo op with you. I think think all has been said. Like I said, Judge Dawes literally said, if I were to speak what I would have said about our discussion, it still goes back to information. Probably because CCG invited you to Arch Apartments and you're not thinking about there's going to be a TV live. You know, people have a perception of when you're live, but you're live. You're live on Civic Space TV, actually. So that takes me, and these also came to my mind. This takes me to what the judges also talked about. How do you present yourself? That is a very, very key aspect in everything that you do in life. Judge Dawes was saying he's a PCB. Exactly, in school we always knew that all scientists are shabby, they don't comb their hair, they will not tuck in, you know. But as life goes through at university, you are actually the people that you're meeting at university, the conversations that you your future at that point in time, and therefore how you present yourself, that's what we call first impression. When someone looks at you at first, even when you really need to read your text each and every time. Read about everything that is happening. Context is very, very key, like one of the judges said. If you are going to discuss, I had some of the participants about, I think it was in the Constitution, but it actually does not exist. He was using it as a politicking tool. Up until the particular journalist who started saying, wait, you said this, but it actually does not exist in the Constitution. That is how it was unearthed. It is like going to church and you think the pastor knows everything. Then he mentions a book that does not exist in the Bible. And you clap your hands because, I mean, you believe them, right? So it takes personal initiative for you to read and understand. And it helps you, definitely, even when you're just having conversations later on. So allow me to invite Damien. But thank you all to the panelists, to the participants. Let's clap for ourselves. I think this was a millennial one. I also first of all thought, you know, it is the in thing. It doesn't give us as much sound though. We would love to have a bit of noise. But ladies and gentlemen, allow Damien speak to us.
Thank you very much, Mildred. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation and being here this whole afternoon. Also to our judges, thank you very much for staying around, for being with us throughout the day. Very busy people, but you've allowed and accepted to share your thoughts. But it's also because you love engaging, you love mentoring. So it is a plus also to you because it's part of the things that you enjoy doing. And we hope and pray that from here we shall have a session where we could sit and try to restructure some of these engagements going forward, and also shape our next engagement. Since we are done with the group stages, we are now getting into a more serious part of the debates, heading towards the finals. So we need to have much more serious conversations going forward. We've sieved out and got teams that will go to the next round. So I think from then we can have conversations that will go to on Civic Space TV that are much more sharper. And we pray that you'll be around with us in the next course of the week, to the days to come, to see to it that we restructure the debates and the formats. Also, thank you very much, our dear panelists and the universities, for showing up, for coming around and being with us through. Yes. This one, no, we've overruled this one now. We shall clap. We need to be traditional. So thank you very much for turning up and enduring to stretch into the different groups and being consistent. It shows that you like engaging, but like it is, we need to get our facts. We need to read more. We've been challenged to do more reading. In one of the groups somewhere, someone shared and said, oh, this NDP3, I didn't read about it, so I will keep quiet, in one of the groups. So if we keep engaging and reading, maybe I think we would have had a much more interesting evening, afternoon, actually, after eating. So thank you very much for turning up. And also to the winners and those that of course, didn't go through to this round. We still have much more engagement. This program is still ongoing. So you don't have to lose it. We still have you. And I think about this time, I'll before Sarah comes, because she'll give her final remarks, right after she's done doing that, I'll invite the other, all those that were in the panel to join this team here to take the first round of the pictures. Then we shall invite at the university level, so that we know that all the universities, you'll have the opportunity to take with the judges. This should stay on record. In the groups, you'll come as a group. Yeah, group E, D, E and F. According to your groups, you also have the opportunity to take pictures. We need it on record. Then we'll have a one general photograph for all of us. So allow me invite Sarah. Also, we had people who were on the back of the running. We had Gloria Nabali there, who was our rapporteur for the day. We had, of course, all of you know Gender, who has been our moderator through and through. Then the staff that have been working with the CCG staff, technical and financial. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Our distinguished panelists, university delegations, distinguished judges, where has the... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've seen her. Our rapporteur, Gloria, the CCG Mighty team. I call it Mighty because it takes a lot of work to, and the effort, and the people sleep here receiving universities from up country, and the CCG, the civic space team, of course, people that have documented these deliberations, but also been able to connect with your fellow students in your universities and the rest of the world on what was happening. I wish to congratulate all of you for reaching this stage where we have finished the 6 groups in 3 phases of televised debates. We have held all the individual university debates online. Although I want to say that there has been a little participation in your university dialogues online. Normally we see panelists, I don't know how it has happened. I know that we adopted that hybrid method because of COVID. And maybe as we go towards opening up, maybe we might have to change and come and actually visit you in universities, because that's part of what we used to do. This is a big mentorship program. People who interfaced with us in season 1, they've never been the same, and maybe for Mildred and others, we produced a total of 123 elected leaders through this program. And we have leaders in civil society, we have leaders in private sector, we are compiling, we are tracking our members for season 1. I think we could have about 200 leaders at the national level in all spheres through season 1. So don't take it casually, don't take it for granted. Some of you have been here debating, for example, NDP 3. It is the focus and the theme for our financial budget framework for the 5 years is increasing household incomes with a focus on SDGs, the East African 2060 agenda, the AU 2030, but the focus is on NDP 3. So if you are now invited for a TV debate to discuss NDP 3, you can imagine how ready you will be. It should not just stop with panelists. We had very good contributions from the audience, and I want to, I was sharing with Gloria, there were 2 ladies from the audience, and we were like, of course the theme for this Women's Day is an equal world. But we have had 2 sets of panels where we have no lady. Yet they were very focused ladies contributing from the audience. So we were like, are they being boxed out of panels? So I hope that we don't see this in the next round, which will be the semi-finals and then finals, because this was like the knockout stage. And we are going with the first two of each group to the next stage. But we want more female student participation, because if we are saying we need to attain an equal world, how come we cannot attain these basics in universities? Then who will deliver this equal world? So, but with those few remarks, I want to really thank all of you. Thank Gender in a special way. Gender is our moderator for the individual university dialogues, and she has held that portfolio in a very excellent manner, and I wish to thank her. So we are now going to be announcing the phasing of the next phase, and maybe then have better, but we expect more active participation. I hope everybody has subscribed to Civic Space TV. By show of hands, let me know who has subscribed. And if you haven't, be honest. Anybody who hasn't? Jaja hasn't. So Rita, you need to help. Rita is our communications officer. She needs to help Jaja to subscribe. Yes, so previously we used to host these programs with NBS and NTV, but it was so expensive. And we all know the shrinking civic space. One of the issues that did not come out of these debates, because how do you even attain NDP3 without realizing the basic fundamental rights and freedoms of the people? And if the people have no freedoms even to think, including the first debate on innovation and creativity, freedom of thought is part of Article 29 of the Constitution that is highly constrained in this country. Freedom of thought, conscience, association, assembly, these are the issues that did not come out even when Chivazo was saying we have many lawyers in the room. But some of the elements did not come out. So these are the issues that young people should think about. I met some of you during the trainings at the induction of this program, and we were very clear in saying, whereas we are political, because we don't shy away from politics as CCG. A constitution is a political document. Being political is our fundamental right. But in the implementation of our work, we are non-partisan. Are we together? So people should not intimidate you and say, oh, those are political. No. There is no law which says angels cannot be political. What disadvantages our implementation is when you are partisan. For example, if you stood here and said, don't join the panel because you are noob, you don't be on the panel because you are FDC, of course that would be very terrible and unfortunate. So are we together? When we come to universities, normally we have these tough conversations with your deans of students who are our patrons for our clubs, by default and otherwise. Some of the universities used to constrain in a way, try to constrain our space, that we discuss tough things, and we said yes. All the people that liberated Africa in the quest for independence were university students. If they were debating soft and comfortable issues, would they have liberated Africa? I don't want to talk too much, so I only came here to close. You must debate, you must challenge yourselves, you must challenge the status quo as young people. I thank you very much.
Judges will